What's up, everybody? This your girl Dani Rose, and you are officially watching Dani on this day. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm still gonna ask, do you know what I want to tell you on this day? However, I want to hear what some of y'all want to tell me on this day too. Let's have a dialogue. Let's talk some shit. Let's really get down to the root of stuff. Let's get down to what the fuck is really good. Let's just be raw, real, and honest. So I have a second line, and later on, I guess when I get a couple of more subscribers, I'm going to post that number in which people are able to call anonymously. Like if you want your identity to be known, cool too. But we're gonna just talk some shit. You could challenge anything I say. You could debate anything I say. We're gonna do it friendly. We're gonna do it respectfully. There's no restrictions on who's allowed to comment, call in, watch, whatever. I will say this really quick. My camera quality looks a little fuzzy, and it's because I'm using my webcam. But once I guess figure that tech, what do you call it, technological part out, then I guess we could get some better picture quality and just how everything looks. But for the most part, you can still see me. Excuse me. You can still see me. You know it's me. But I do want to say also, Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year. I hope your New Year brings you some positivity. I hope it brings you some blessings. I hope 2019, and I don't say this in a bad way, but I hope you went through so much bullshit in 2019 that you have no choice but to succeed, be uplifted, and be empowered, in the coming year. So I want to say that, and I want to say shout out to my survivors. And any survivor is somebody who just beating the odds. You out here working hard. You proving people wrong. You just got a lot going on. You just continue to be strong. You continue to be courageous. And then most importantly, you continue to be resilient because it's hard out here. And especially when you got to try to tread through life on your own and you're making mistakes and you don't really have the basis to be able to learn from the mistakes that you've been making and some of the stuff that you've gone through. So shout out to my survivors. Shout out to my resilient crew. Shout out to my people that just continue to keep going no matter what bullshit is going on in their life and no matter what they're up against. Shout out to my self-lovers. Yes, Lord. I want to shout out to my real self-lovers. Shout out to the people who are knowing what love is, but knowing what self-love is. Because at the end of the day, you can't love somebody else effectively if you don't even love yourself. And people will say all day, oh, I love me, I love me. No, you don't. Because when you love you, it reflects in the way you treat other people and the way you handle other people. Cursing people out, putting your hands on them, being emotionally or physically or mentally abusive, those are not signs of love. So there's no way on earth you're going to convince me or anybody in their right mind that you love yourself when you're walking around treating people like that. This is just a short introductory video. Like I said, I have a second line that people is going to be able to call in on, voice their opinions, even just talk with me. You could just talk with me. We could just chop it up, whatever. And then my phone line that I have also has capability to do conference calling. So sometimes we can conference in somebody else who would like to call in and just be able to, get in on a conversation as well. But I just also want to say that and this is a zone of love here. And just because we're having a debate, a disagreement, or a difference in opinions, that doesn't mean that it's supposed to escalate. That doesn't mean that it's supposed to get disrespectful. That doesn't mean I'm a better person than you are or a less person than you are if we don't agree with each other. So at the end of the day, we're going to keep it friendly. We're going to keep it positive, and we're going to keep it about love. You don't have to be mean or rude or any of that shit to get your point across. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to insult. And then if you don't agree with a point that I or somebody else makes, cool. Be like Tim. Be like Tim. You guys are going to hear me reference Tim a lot throughout my videos, throughout my postings and things like that. And at some point, it's like people's going to start wondering, who the fuck is Tim? Who the hell is Tim? It's like if you follow the guy on Instagram, I am Desi Banks. He always talking about a person named Parlay. Parlay be at departments. Well, I'm gonna be talking about Tim. Tim be everywhere. Tim be at departments with Parlay. Tim be at the crib. Tim be at his homeboy house. But one thing is consistent with Tim. Guess what? Tim is always on the internet. Tim is always on the internet. So we're gonna talk about Tim. We're gonna hear a little bit about Tim. We're gonna give some instances where we can be Tims because Tim is a role model. Tim is somebody who we can actually learn some shit from. So like I said, I'm gonna introduce Tim later on. You're gonna hear me make a lot of references to Tim and just how he relates to whatever we're talking about in that moment. Um, like I said, this is just an introductory video, but I will say a few things with it being an introduction, just so you could get a little feel of what I'm about, how I communicate, and just how I'm just expecting everything to go when we're here discussing. First things first, we're gonna talk about some real life shit. We're gonna talk about real life situations. We're gonna talk about real life experiences. So yeah, I am gonna tell some of my business. I am gonna tell about certain shit because there's no way that people are gonna be able to grow. People are gonna be able to change themselves for the better without having something to relate to. Like somebody commented on my post, my New Year's post actually. Somebody commented on my post and was like, reading your post, it feels good to know that. Hold on, somebody text me. It feels good to know that I'm not fighting this fight by myself. And which I replied and let the person know that as long as I'm on this earth, you're never gonna fight this fight by yourself. Because you know why? I'm here for all of we. I'm here for the masses. I'm here for me. I'm here for you. Guess what? I'm even here for my enemies. Because where I'm at right now in my life, where I'm at mentally, where I'm at emotionally, I am truly happy. I love me. I love everything that's going on around me. I just love the way things are going for me. And I'm not where I want to be, but I'm still happy because I'm hopeful. And I also see that things are moving. So that keeps me happy and that's what keeps me hopeful. I don't feel sad about me not being where I want to be right now. I don't feel sad about the mistakes that I've made with friends, relationships, whatever else throughout this year or even in the past years because I learned that you're not going to get anything about being out of being bitter. You're not going to get anything about, from being upset. You're not. And at the end of the day, let's be real here. We have to take accountability for our own actions. So yeah, that's not to say people don't do us wrong. People do people wrong. People be trying people. People disrespect. People do a lot of fucked up shit. But what remains consistent in all of that is someone is allowing them to do it. So as long as you realize that you are in control of that and we just stop allowing people to treat us in ways that we know we don't deserve, you can move forward. And moving forward, you can lose any bitterness that you feel like you have or any sadness or anything like that. Bitterness is not attached to growth. There's nobody out here that's bitter and sad and they're growing. It doesn't match. It's not in the same equation. So at the end of the day, I want you all to promise yourself, like I promised myself. After I went through that badass relationship that I went with the person I was with, guess what I told myself? First and foremost, I'm never gonna do that shit again. I ain't never gonna let a motherfucker treat me like that again. Because I can't put all the blame on him. Yeah, he was fucked up. Yeah, he is battling depression really, really bad. He is going through periods where he's trying to mask it. And you know what I did differently from him? Which I've always told him, you are not different. Me and you are different. We're not the same. You know what I mean? And I think that comes along with maturity. When you go through a period in life that's unfavorable, especially with another person and you're in a relationship, the best thing to do after that is to take some time to be alone. Take some time to re-love yourself if you lost yourself in that period. Take some time to understand what confinement is, what insulation is. My daddy always talk about confinement to me. Always talk about that. And he always says to me, when you want to do certain shit, it's best that you do your shit in your confinement. And what he mean by your confinement is when your ass is by your motherfucking self. By yourself. Take time to be alone, to reflect, to think about you, to love on you. And what I mean by that is this also. People will think that being single for 3, 4, 5, 6 years or whatever makes them a sought after or a desired partner. Let me tell you something. If in that time you were single, whether it was for 3 years, 4 years, 6, 10, whatever, if during that time you were single, you didn't practice self-love, you didn't practice meditation, you didn't practice how to treat other people, you didn't practice how to be considerate of another person, when you get in that relationship, it is going to fucking fail. And what we gotta understand is this: when you're in a relationship with someone, the shit you do and the traumas that you have that you don't address, it's gonna rub off on that other person. It's gonna affect that other person. And if both of y'all have traumas that y'all haven't addressed, which is what we both had, that shit is a fucking recipe for disaster. I'm telling you that right now. Because I'm not saying that the depression that I went through and the mental breakdown and everything that I had going on was strictly from this relationship. No, I'm not saying that. I'm being responsible and I'm holding myself accountable, because I will say this: I had a personal demon that I was battling before that, which actually had nothing to do with relationships. It had more so something to do with trust, because I got violated. Somebody, and I'm, you know what? Fuck this shit, man. Fuck it. This, I'm being real now. I'm not gonna start being transparent and then turn around and start trying to sugarcoat shit. Nah, it is what it is. And it took me a minute to be able to start speaking out on this and saying this. And anybody who's even watching my video who knows, she used to be partying a lot. She used to be going to the club. She used to be doing this. She used to be doing that. And then I kind of chilled out and laid low. It wasn't so much because I had gotten in a relationship. It was because I was not trusting of the nightlife at that moment. Somebody drugged me and somebody raped me. And my own family don't even know. I never told that shit to my mama, my daddy, my brother, my sister. Never said none of that shit to nobody. Because I was in a place where I took the blame. I blamed myself, because the first thing I thought was, okay, well, first of all, I shouldn't have fucking been out by myself. I always go out by myself, but goddamn, how did this shit happen on this one time here that I go out by myself out of the million times I've gone out by myself? And I shouldn't have been drinking with, this person. I shouldn't have got up and went to the bathroom and left my... There was a whole bunch of guilt and blame that I was put on myself, which I had to realize too, that even if I make a mistake, that doesn't give the right to someone else to take advantage of me. And I want you guys to know that shit as well. Just because you make a mistake, that doesn't give somebody else the right to take advantage of you. If you choose the wrong partner, you choose anything wrong that was not for you, or that shouldn't have been for you, that doesn't give somebody the right to just say, you know what, fuck it, she already goddamn, she the one who pulled up on me, so she got to know what time it is. Nah. So at the end of the day, don't blame. Don't blame yourself for other people's violations and other people's shit that they do to you. But what you do got to take the blame for is how you choose to deal with the aftermath of that. If you decide that you're not going to address it, you're not going to get help, you're not going to seek therapy, I'm telling you right now, anything that's burdening your heart and your mind, it is going to eat you the fuck alive. It is going to eat you alive. It's going to tear up your personal life. It's going to mess up your relationships with everything and everybody, with your friends, your co-workers, your managers, your next door neighbor, your kids, whatever. So I say that to say, when you're dealing with a trauma and you encounter another person that you know is going through some type of trauma or depression or emotional or mental or social instability, you two is not going to be a good match for each other unless you guys both go into it saying, look, I got some problems with trust. I've been violated. And then the other person says, hey, listen, I got some problems with depression. I have to call right back. I got some problems with depression. There were some things that happened to me in my life, and there were plans that I had for myself, and those things didn't go the way I planned for it to go. So it sunk me into a depression, and it increased my anger and frustration with everything and every other thing around me. But it also takes a big person to know that that's what they have going on. In the black community, people don't want to address mental health. People think mental health means you're retarded or you're crazy or you schizophrenic or whatever the case is. No, 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 no. Get that out of your fucking heads. You see white people? White people will go to the motherfucking shrink in a heartbeat. They will go seek any type of therapy that they need because they're willing to confront and address the things that are burdening them. And that's one thing that we as a black community need to start doing better. You are burdened by something on your heart, you need to seek help. Whether it's from your friends, your family, professional help, whatever. You need to seek help. I've been talking right now for 16 and a half minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because people is she think I'm sleeping. I'm gonna text her back because it's New Year's Eve. I have a few plans to go meet up with a friend. We're gonna go to a little house party. We're gonna be indoors. But I do wish every single one of y'all a happy new year. I wish every single body safety. I wish you in your new year prosperity. I wish you in your new year love. And when I say love, I want to emphasize I'm not talking about relationships. I'm not talking about being married. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about self-love. I'm talking about practicing kindness. I'm talking about spreading generosity, spreading love, spreading kindness. When I talk about I'm wishing you love, I'm not talking about, like I said, relationships. I'm talking about love in every area in life. Because anything that is successful and anything that thrives, love is a part of it. Love is a part of it. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. I love you. I appreciate you. And I have gotten myself in the habit of expressing that. And I'm going to keep on being expressive in that. So I just want to say I love you. I love everybody. I love my enemies. I love the 8.2 billion people in the world. I love my ex as much as he hurt me. I love his family as much as they contributed to the hurt and the breakdown and the dysfunction of the relationship. I love everybody who have wronged me, who left me, who didn't stick by my side. I love you if you ever taught me anything, whether it was direct or indirect. If you ever left my side and you're watching my video now because you want to just see how I'm doing, I want to let you know I love you too. Because at the end of the day, I learned something from each and every person. I learned something from every lesson. I learned something from every situation. And I'm at a place in my life now where I am no longer going to let anything make me bitter about the outcome of a situation because it wasn't the outcome that I favored. Anything that is meant to be is going to be, and you don't have to force it. Y'all, again, I love you. Take care of yourselves. Stay tuned because we're going to get this shit popping, 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 popping. Again, this your girl Dani Rose, aka Dani, aka Rose, aka D Rose, aka that bitch I hate. Whatever the fuck it is you want to address me as. Because at the end of the day, we going to learn, if you don't learn this nowhere else, that it's not about what people call you or what they refer to you as. It's about how you answer. So again, my people, I just want to say thank you for watching. I want you to stay tuned. And I hope to see you next time around. And I hope that you subscribe and we can really get in on the conversation. Love you guys. And I appreciate you. Remember that. I love you and I appreciate you.